Hey everybody, it's Dave here at Holiday for Two, and I hope you're having a good day. And I hope you enjoy these videos that we put together of campsites that we've been to that are some of our favorites. And I'm working on this series right now called Dispersed Camping Favorites. And I know I put a couple of these out now, and you probably have seen a couple of these. These are some places that we have been to that are dispersed camping favorites. And by dispersed, I mean free camping. So my next video that I'm working on right now is about Sedona and the Palatki ruins. If you are new to Arizona and you've never been up here, this is a great place to go. You can disperse camp all along the Forest Road. Forest Road 525 has lots and lots of dispersed campsites all up and down the road. Now this area is the altitude of this area runs around 4,000 feet. So this is a great place to go in the springtime. If you're going camping like April, May, maybe June, as long as it's not too hot. June can be really nice also. And you can camp just south of Sedona, between Sedona and Cottonwood is some great camping. And so if you like dispersed camping, this is a great place to go. Plus, if you like to look at some Indian ruins, there's a place called Palatki Ruins, which is just up Forest Road 525. And you can camp all along this road and then go up and see the ruins and stuff. There's also lots of trails for ATVs and off-road vehicles as well. So if you have an ATV, a quad, a Jeep, any four-wheel drive vehicle that you would like to get out, the 4Runner, those kind of vehicles, you would have a great time because there's lots of trails to explore around here. Plus, if you camp in this area, you're not far from Sedona. If you camp along this road, it's only about a 10-mile, 12-mile drive up into Sedona. There's lots of restaurants that you can go to, places to get food and gas if you need gas, and stores if you need supplies. Plus the beautiful scenery of Sedona and the hills, what they call the Red Mountain or the Red Hills of Sedona. It's just, if you've never been there, it's hard to describe the beauty of the mountains in Sedona. So you just have to go there and see it. And it's an incredible place. And so let's get ready to take a trip, dispersed camping trip to Sedona and the Palatki ruins along the Forest Road 525. And remember, this is free camping all along this road. But just be careful about what time of year you go because it can get hot in the summertime. All right, so hope you enjoy this place. If you've never been there, it's really cool. Let's go to Sedona and the Palatki ruins.
So someday when my ship comes in, I know just what we'll do. We'll pack our bags and quit our jobs and have a holiday for two.
Sedona, the Palatki ruins, and Forest Road 525, dispersed camping favorites. If you're coming up from Cottonwood and looking for Forest Road 525, you're going to come up Highway 89A for about 10 miles. And you're going to look for the exit that'll be on both sides of the road. If you go west, it's going to be the Forest Road 525. If you turn east off of there, it'll be Angel Valley Road. You can also disperse camp there, but there's more campsites up Forest Road 525. And of course, the stay limit, according to the Coconino National Forest website, is 14 days. I think you have to move to a new spot after then for a certain designated time. Do check the website, and I want to draw your attention to the map that's in the picture there. Let's take a closer look at it here. Now, when you look at this map, you'll see a shaded area up Forest Road 525 that's kind of an orange, pink salmon color. That's areas where you are not allowed to camp, or unless it's a designated campground. Anywhere else below that that's not shaded is allowed. Dispersed camping is allowed. And there's actually this map right there that you can get from Coconino National Forest that really is more detail to it. It's a really good map. So when you get there, one side says Two Trees Observation Area, where it's very photogenic. You can take pictures and stuff there. And where we camped was off on Angel Valley Road, and I'll show you in just a second where we camped in a little boondocking spot. We found this little spot off on the east side of the highway, and it was nice, kind of tucked in, and we got our motorhome in there in our trailer. There were a few other rigs parked there with us. Noise wasn't an issue. The views up there were just incredible. So I put the drone up to kind of give you a shot of what it looked like up above. Oh, and if you get a second, please hit subscribe, like, and share on this. And I hope you enjoyed this video and find its information useful. But this area is just incredible. If you've never been up in here and camped before, or never been to Sedona, this is one of those places you got to put on your list of places to go. There's some more information I'll share with you in just a minute about this area, so stay tuned. But this is a view looking towards the red rocks of Sedona, and the mountains are just incredible. We took a ride in our Razor up to the Palatki ruins, and I just couldn't help but get some videos of the mountains as we got up there, and they got closer and closer. It always amazes me when I look at these rocks and the lines going across. I just can't help but imagine that at some time, maybe 400, 500,000 years ago, that there was water running through. You know what I mean? That this whole place was probably flooded or underwater, because you just see it looks like the water just eroded that sandstone, and it was pretty deep right in here. This is the Palatki Heritage Site. Now, if you want to take a tour through this area, you'll need to get, they do it like 10 people at a time, and you can go sign in and get a pass and pay to take the tour. You can walk up there, but to actually take the tour that goes in depth, I think you have to get on a list and wait to get in there. And there's a phone number. I'll put it on the top. I'll put it under the bottom of the screen here. I'll put the information for the phone number to call, so you can get one of those passes if you're interested in taking a tour, a more extensive tour of the heritage site. And that's kind of looking down into the parking lot area where we parked down there. And I think there's like a fee station down there where you pay the fee if you want to get the Red Rock Pass and travel around and see more areas, if I remember right. But we just walked up to the cliff dwellings right here and kind of did a foot walk. It's about a half a mile total walk. It's not hard. Some beautiful things that you see up there, the pictographs and stuff. You can't really get up close to them because they have some boundaries there so that you don't cross those. And imagine just years and years, 800 years ago, people were living in this area. And this was their home. This was their worship area where maybe they had ceremonies and stuff they did in here. As I was doing research on this area, I came across an article in the Red Rock News that really alarmed me. And this article says locals raise alarm on 525 over camping. And if you want to pause this and read it, you can do that. But it just broke my heart when I read this. You know, one of the things about going camping out whether it's in the forest or on the desert, is I always believe in taking care of the land and being good stewards of the land. And sometimes people don't always do that. Now, this is a picture of a camping area taken like after some rains, and then this is the same area after some campers have been through there and kind of trampled it down. Now, that aside, I don't want to get on a soapbox here, but take a look at this picture, and I'll just zoom in real slowly. This is one of the areas they call the triangle. And I thought I'd just share this picture so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. You see some campers there. They're doing their thing, minding their own business. But you can also see trails on the satellite photo where people have gone off the main road. And the old adage, I think, applies here. Just leave it better than you found it. Please pick up your trash. And I just hope that these areas are going to be around for years for the rest of us to enjoy. And I'd hate to see it taken away. I don't think that would be right. And anyway, end of my preaching there. Beautiful area. Please hit like, subscribe, and share. And I hope you leave some comments on this if you feel led to. And stay tuned for some more information on where to find some of the sites and where to find some of those boondocking dispersed sites. Have a good day. Bye. Everybody, it's Dave here, and I first want to show you how to get to Sedona and the dispersed camping along the 89A. And I'm going to assume that you're new to the area and you don't really know your way around this northern Arizona area. Now, if you do know your way around this really well, then you can kind of skip ahead or just watch and I'll show you some of the neat things to see. If you're coming up from Phoenix in southern Arizona area, you're going to come up to 17, come up through Camp Verde. I was showing that on another video I did recently of the West Creek or the West Clear Creek area. That's a beautiful area just east of Camp Verde, and in one of the other videos. So if you're coming up from the south, come up I-17, you're going to turn. You can turn at Camp Verde and go up to Cottonwood. That's one way to get to this dispersed area. The dispersed camping area is right here, kind of where that 89A sign is. And north of Cornville and Cottonwood, and you turn up that, go north on 89A. Or if you're coming down from Flagstaff, you can come down to 17, and you can also turn right here. Well, if you're coming from Flagstaff, a lot of people like to come down the 89A, and that's a really pretty way to come. It is twisty and turny, so if you're in a big long rig, fifth wheel, toy hauler, or a big long motorhome, you might want to just check that road out ahead of time. I wouldn't do it if you have a long rig. It is twisty and turny, especially right here as you come down into the canyon. That's this spot right here. It gets a little, you see that right there, right? That's what I mean. It's a little bit woo 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 right there, but it is beautiful. It is. It is a beautiful ride and some really scenic views. Let me switch to satellite mode because you're coming down the side of a canyon wall right there. So like I said, if you're in a big long rig, I would just avoid that. The easiest way then to get to Sedona is to come off. There's a couple of campgrounds. If you're interested in, there's Pine Flat, Cave Springs, and Manzanita is down here too. I don't think I got that far yet, but it's another nice little campground. Some of these campgrounds are small and not really big are big enough to handle 32, 35-foot motorhomes. So let me back out here. There is another neat place too if you do come here called Slide Rock. And Slide Rock is a fun swimming hole place in the summertime. It's an old apple farm that there's a homestead here that you can visit, and it's kind of historical museum place. But this Slide Rock is famous because in the summertime when it's hot, people and families from Phoenix and Flagstaff will come down here and they swim, and you can slide on sandstone. The water's cool and it's fun for a day trip when the weather gets hot in the summertime. But what I remember, the water is cold. Even in the summertime, it seems like the water was, I don't know, 50, 60 degrees. But it's fun in the summertime. It's hot enough that you can enjoy it as part of the Arizona State Park system. Slide Rock, so remember that. So as you're coming down that way, the 89A off to the side, if you're coming from Flagstaff, let me switch back to map mode here. I would come down to 17 and I would just, you could take the 179 exit here and come up through Sedona. That's a pretty drive. And go into Sedona, get groceries if you need groceries, then come down the 89A south, head south down the 89A. And when you get in this area where it says 2 trees observation area, that's where the forest road is that I was telling you about. And let me zoom in here. Come on, I hate those pop-ups. Let me zoom in here and I'll show you. And there's a little sign, I think, off the road. It'll say Deer Pass Trailhead. We actually boondocked over on Angel Valley Road. I think it was right in here. Let me switch to satellite mode. Yeah, right there. There it is. That's the area where we boondocked. And there's quite a few places in there you can pull a rig in and park. And then back in or turn around here. I think when I remember there was, in the picture, there were a couple of rigs in this area. If you look at the drone shot, you'll see what I mean. And the views, oh my goodness, the views from here of the Sedona Hills is just marvelous. And if you have a Jeep or a Razor or some kind of a quads or motorcycles, you can ride trails all around here. Let me switch to terrain mode right there. I mean, my goodness, there are some of these trails that actually go up and over the mountains here, and you can, I've been told you can take some of these trails from here to Flagstaff, but I haven't tried that yet. So maybe that'll be my next video one of these days. Yeah. I'll show you what I mean. It's kind of scary. There's a Kasner trail goes up here. I'll see if I can find it. If you follow these trails, there's trails to ride around all over here. But here it is, Kasner Trail right here. This is the famous one, Kasner Mountain Trail. This just goes snakes up the mountain. And I think it goes from down here, from when you start off down here to get up to the top. I think it's about a 1,500 foot, maybe 1,000 foot climb up the side here. But once you get to the top of the hill, then you're just like off and running here, and you can run all along this ridge line here on that trail. This is still Kasner Trail right in here. Kasner Mountain Trail. I've heard that's a real fun trail for Jeeps and ATVs of all kinds. It's definitely a four-wheel drive trail though. Don't take your car up there. Nope. Do not recommend taking your car up there. Alright, you'll be calling for Matt's Off-Road Recovery. If you know who he is. I don't know if you'll even come down this far. Probably not. But they do have off-road recovery people that can get you out of pickles that you get in. But let me zoom back in where we were here. Okay, when you camp here along this road, Angel Valley Road is right here, Deer Pass Trailhead. Then you start to go up Forest Road 525, and you can camp anywhere from, I believe, where it says Dad Jones Tank up north. And I switched to satellite mode, and I'll show you what I mean. You can see it on the satellite mode here. Look at all these campers parked in here. There's little places. There's none that want. I mean, my goodness. You just go up this road, and you can't help but see spots. I think I even saw some people parked up in there. A couple places are marked with stones to make like a big circle area where you can pull in and park. And then there are some places where you can drive off. I don't know what the idea is behind the stones, other than maybe to designate this as a parking area. I'm not sure if they're trying to keep people from getting off over here, and to driving off in this area, but people do. I don't think that's their intent, but just it's kind of weird when you see that on the map. Sometimes they're doing that. But there are places you can camp anywhere here. Not a lot of shade, as you can see by looking at the map. But hey, late March, April, May, and the first part of June, weather here is going to be beautiful. So it's a great place to park. You might have, in May you might have temperatures like 82 in the daytime, and then lows around 55 at night. So it can get a little cool at night. Sometimes even a little cooler than that. Just depends on the weather. Forest Road 525. Oh my goodness, I just keep zooming in and seeing people parked along the road. So bring a trail guide, bring some kind of if you have a map system that you use, you're going to want to bring that. It's about 7 miles up the Forest Road 525. There's a place here called Red Canyon Overlook. It's real pretty. People like to go up there and then stop and take pictures. If you keep going, I think we're going to get to the Palatki ruins. I may have passed it. Nope, it's up here somewhere. There it is. Palatki Heritage sites right there. Now, there's another one up here too. I think it'll show up on the map. But when you get up here, there is a parking area. There's a restroom. There's a trail guide you want to check in. If you want to take the trail and you want the guided tour, then you're going to need to check in and get an appointment for that and make a reservation. Otherwise, there's a parking area here. You can walk around and take pictures. I did when I was there. We just parked. I think there was a fee to get into this area. And there's like a little box here where you put your fee into. It's kind of a self, honor system thing, if I remember right. There's like a little box in here where you put your fee. Their envelope. You get an envelope, you put your check in there, write a check, and it's like $5 or $10 or something like that, and you put it in the thing, and it's kind of on the honor system. There's not an actual person in a booth that you pay money to. But it does all go to support this area and to keep it up and keep it looking nice for the rest of us and the future generations. It's a very interesting site.
I didn't take the tour, but if we go back up again, it would be fun to do that. We did walk around and take some pictures, and you saw some of them in my video, and of the places where these people a long time ago, the Hopi that live up in here, built all these dwellings up here. And there's even like pictographs that they show drawings of animals and stuff, deer and things on the side of the mountain. It's really interesting. There's a lot of these kind of places in Arizona that are really, we have some here close to Phoenix, the White Tank Mountains, where you see pictographs. There's a Casa Grande ruins. That's also another famous spot. I mean, there's so many. Arizona has so many of these kinds of places that are really rich part of our history. So if you get a chance to come up here, catch it when the weather's good, like in the spring, March, April, May, or in the fall, October, maybe November. The weather might be nice then too. October, September, late September, starts to cool down. It's nice up in here. And again, bring your trail gear, do some hiking, or you can go down here and hit the, there's a winery down here somewhere too. I saw wine tours of Sedona. That'd be fun. And a little town down here called Page Springs. You're not far from Sedona, so if you need to go into town and get some goodies, there's several grocery stores, there's restaurants, gift shops. There's shops and stuff in here you could spend all day in Sedona. And there's even like times of the year when they have arts and crafts shows and stuff in Sedona. So it's a very busy place, especially in the late spring and summertime when the weather's nice. This place can get a little bit busy. And if you're in a Jeep trails, there's the famous Broken Arrow over here. I talked about that in one of my other videos. And if you got a Jeep or an ATV and you want to go for a ride, you can go up to Schnebly Hill. It's one of my other videos where I talked about the Schnebly Hill Road goes all the way from Sedona up to the I-17 up into forest land up here where you can also disperse camp. So, hey, and it's all free. Dispersed camping in the Coconino National Forest is free. This is part of the Coconino National Forest, and so is over here on 525. This is all part of Coconino National Forest. 14-day stay limit. So if you come, have a great time. Drive safely, and please hit like and share this and subscribe. And I got more video ideas coming soon, so stay tuned. Have a great day. Be safe. Bye.